Have you ever been in a group that just didn't work well together? Like everyone was confused or people weren't listening and the project just felt stressful? Today, I'm going to talk about some important group communication concepts. I'll cover three main things: the different types of groups, how conflict and leadership show up in groups, and the stages groups go through as they develop. First, let's talk about the different types of groups. A task-oriented group is a group that comes together mainly to get a specific job done. It's all about the certain task or goal, like finishing a project or solving a problem. They talk about this on page 6 of our textbook. One example is that in my biology class that I took a few years ago, I was in a study group where we worked together to prepare for the final exam. We focus on sharing notes and quizzing each other and just preparing each other to create that final study guide. And that's a task-oriented group. On the other hand, a relational-oriented group is more about building connections and supporting each other. It's less about the task and more about the relationships that people are forming. This is like when me and my friends all get together. We just meet up just to hang out and talk about life. That's relational because the main goal is emotional support and friendship. One advantage of working groups online is that it's very, very convenient, as everyone in this class knows. You can meet anytime without worrying about travel, where you are on a road trip, on doing business, anything like that. But there is a disadvantage, and that is that it's harder to read people's emotions or body language, which can cause misunderstandings. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about conflict and leadership. In school groups, I think the most common type of conflict is procedural conflict. This means that disagreements about how the group should do things, like who does what or when things should be done. And I picked this because I've seen groups argue about deadlines or how to divide work, which really slows down progress. There are different leadership styles in groups too. One of these is a directive leader, which tells people exactly what to do. A participative leader, which involves everyone in the decisions, which I think we saw a lot of in our class group chats in the pronto messages. And a supportive leader, which focuses on making sure everyone feels comfortable and motivated. I feel like we also saw a bit of this. And an achievement-oriented leader, which pushes the group to reach high goals. For class groups, like I mentioned before, I think a participative leadership style works best because everyone gets a chance to share ideas and feel involved. And that helps the group work better together and keeps everyone motivated. Next, I'll talk about how groups develop over time. Groups usually go through 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Forming is when the group first meets and people are polite but unsure. Storming is where the conflict happens as people start sharing opinions. Norming is when the group agrees on rules and roles. Performing is when the group works smoothly to get things done. Adjourning is when a group finishes and disbands. Primary tension happens when, in the forming stage, it's just the nervous energy when people are getting to know each other. They talk about that on page 18 of our textbook. For example, in my first group project last semester, everyone was kind of shy and unsure about what they wanted to say. Secondary tension happens in storming when conflicts or disagreements come up. Like in another group I had, we had a big argument about who should present the final project because no one really wanted to do it. And it was stressful until we talked it out. Today I talked about 3 important group communication ideas: the types of groups, task-oriented groups, and relationally oriented groups. The kinds of conflict and leadership styles that you find in groups, and the stages that different groups go through. Next time you're in a group, think about these things because they can help you understand what's going on and make the group work better. And remember my question: have you ever been in a group that didn't work well? Now you know some reasons why that might happen and how to handle it.